Welcome to Tina Tries. Today we're watching the most misunderstood game. This one's about the Bulls versus the Indiana Pacers in Game 7 in 1998. Let's jump in. Let's see why this is the most misunderstood game.
It's the greatest two words in all of sports, Game 7. There are no higher stakes in the NBA. Your season and legacy are on the line. For some players, we don't just judge you if you win or lose. You have to perform. You have to be able to rise to the occasion. If you fail at both, you're considered a choke artist.
That's true.
If you succeed at both, you'll be regarded as a clutch player forever. If you win,
Also
but
true.
have an off-shooting night, that's where the debate becomes intense. Did you get saved by a teammate? Was the pressure too much for you? This is what happened to the great Michael Jordan. In Game 7 of the 1998 Conference Finals against the Indiana Pacers, the Bulls were able to escape with a victory. But Michael did not have an efficient shooting performance. He had 28 points on 36% shooting.
Wow.
Does he deserve criticism, or does he deserve a pass? It all depends on how you impacted the game. And with Michael Jordan, he proved in the biggest stage that there is much more to his greatness than just scoring. What if I told you that this should actually be regarded as his most underrated game?
Okay.
The first thing that we have to get out the way is if this performance follows a trend. Did Jordan have a reputation of coming up short in big moments?
No.
I mean,
Absolutely
do we really
not.
have to waste time on this question?
No.
If you truly don't believe that Michael isn't one of, and if not, the greatest playoff performer and clutch players in history,
Yep.
then you should truly take to heart this important PSA by the GOAT himself.
Stop it. Get some help.
This, of course,
I love that. I remember seeing that on TV. That's funny.
is not a pattern of behavior. He was rarely this inefficient in a high-stakes game.
It's true.
If the pressure didn't bother him, then what was it? Was it bad shot selection or something else? It's important that we review the game in order to answer this question. Let's take a look at most of his field goal attempts. The first thing that we want to give credit to is the Pacers defense. They would not let Jordan go one-on-one on Reggie. The help defense
Yep.
was always there to give him a second contest. And when he decided to drive to the rim, there were multiple instances where
Wow.
they gave a great contest without fouling. Let's
Wow.
not forget that the Pacers ranked 5th in defensive rating
It feels like they had him locked up there for a while. Interesting.
that season, and this was their biggest strength during this era. Says he wasn't in rhythm, he
Wow.
was missing on some clean looks. For the majority of the shots he took,
Oh my
he wasn't
goodness.
forcing the issue. He wasn't trying to play hero ball. He got the looks he wanted, but he just couldn't get them to fall down. He got cold in the worst
Oof.
possible time. Then when I saw this missed layup, it was obvious that fatigue was playing a factor.
Yeah.
He was absolutely cooked from the grueling series, but trying to lead his team to a second three-peat. All those miles was surely starting to take its toll.
This was a very tough series. This is probably the toughest series throughout my whole career and all the playoff games.
Well, and this was when Pippin's back was hurt, right? So he wasn't quite as helpful as he had been in the past.
Of really having the pressure and being in a situation of Game 7 and expected to win. This was a very tough series. They gave us everything that we could ask for.
Well, if that's the case, then why keep shooting? He took 25 shots, more than anybody else.
Wow.
A big reason why he had to keep shooting was because Scottie Pippen was also struggling. He went 6 of 18 from the field, which is 33%. He was even more inefficient. But we should cut him some slack. He was playing through some injuries that caused him to be limited.
Yeah.
Thankfully,
So it was his
Tony
back.
Kukoc was an unsung hero, and he played exceptionally well.
Yes.
He had 21 points on 7 of 11 shooting. That includes going 3
Wow.
of 4 from the 3. Bulls fans certainly remember how
Ooh,
big
that was
he
a nice
was in
shot.
this game. But for the most part, it was up to Jordan to provide the offense, and for spurts, he was able to come through. For example, in the second quarter, he made 5 straight
Nice.
baskets. He had 13 points in the period that allowed the Bulls to have the lead going into halftime.
There it is.
There were certainly moments where he looked like his old self.
Nice.
However, we're not going to classify this as a vintage Jordan performance. He didn't dominate with his scoring, but he impacted the game in every other way.
Ooh.
This is where he proved, once and for all, that he was much more than just a great scorer.
Wow, that was a great
He posted
pass.
a game-high 8 assists. By watching the game,
Nice.
he didn't do this by just driving and kicking, as 99.9% of the players do now. He was an expert at reading the
Wow.
defense. He knew where to pass the ball in spots where his teammates can shoot in rhythm.
Oh,
He knew
again.
the tri-
Man, it looks like Kukoc was on fire this game. Nice. I feel like he's a little bit underrated. He was pretty clutch for them coming off the bench.
triangle offense better than anyone, and he used his knowledge to get his teammates good
Look
looks.
at that.
Then we have the rebounds, the hustle plays. He had 9 rebounds, 5 of them coming in the offensive end. We're talking about plays where he's getting an offensive rebound over 2 big men. We're talking about winning a jump ball over the 7'4" Rick Smits.
Wow.
These are plays that can mean the difference between winning and losing. What impressed me the most from watching this game was his will to win. After the
angry.
game, he mentioned what the key to the victory was. It's about heart, and I think you saw a lot of heart out there on the basketball court. It was a great effort.
Yeah, look at
It's
that.
truly a championship team in terms of finding ways to win and making it happen. End of quote. How else could you explain why the Bulls out-rebounded the Pacers 50 to 37? If you
missed
answer
again.
because they had Dennis Rodman,
False.
sorry, but he only had 6 rebounds. It
Wow, that
because
was it?
Jordan and Pippen dominated the boards. They created a combined 11 second chance opportunities. Now here's something
Nice.
else that he did that was crucial. He attacked the rim time and time again in order to get to the free throw line.
Oh
It was
my
like an
gosh.
old school football game where they would give it to the running back and he would move the chains methodically. That's exactly what we saw in the
That
fourth
was a hard
quarter.
hit.
He knew that his shot wasn't falling, so he was going to do whatever it took to get to the free throw line. He
Makes
had a
sense.
game high 15 free throw attempts, and this gave the Bulls some much needed points.
Wow. They sent him flying across the floor on that one. But that makes sense. If they're going to lock him up on defense, then he needs to get as many free throws as he can where no one's touching him because you know he's going to sink those.
In the end, Michael Jordan didn't beat you down the stretch.
Larry.
No, his jump shot didn't, but his free throws did. You know, he got the line a few times. He was putting his head down, just getting
Ooh.
in traffic and trying to
Have
draw
a
the
basketball in your face.
foul. They were going at Rick pretty hard. They was
Tongue was out. He
setting
meant
a
business
pick,
on that
and
one.
Mike was getting it, trying to run into him and get in the lane and make something happen.
Wow.
And it was effective. They did what they had to do to win the game.
There's one last aspect to the game that we're missing, and that's defense. For the first 3 quarters, Reggie Miller was cooking Chicago. He had 22 points on 7 of 12 shooting. That includes going
Wow.
4 of 7 from the 3.
Well,
Now,
if
for
he
the
wanted to
entire
win.
series, Jordan defended small forwards Jalen Rose and Chris Mullin. Phil Jackson made this move to free him from spending a lot of energy chasing down Reggie on defense.
Makes
But in
sense.
the fourth quarter of that game, he wanted the assignment of guarding him, and he did an incredible job of denying him the ball. He was fighting through screens, chasing him around the court. He did not let their closer do anything. In fact, for the fourth quarter, Reggie had 0 points and only attempted
Wow.
1 shot.
Harp was not having a good game. He had a little bit of a stiff back this morning, and he wasn't moving the way he can move. And Michael had to move over and take Reggie Miller for the second half, or for the yeoman part of that second half. For most of the minutes, he did a great job on Reggie. And as we shut him down a little bit, at least in the second half.
This was a big reason
Yeah.
why they were able to
You
win
think?
that game. Throughout the series, Miller was able to make some big shots that
Ooh,
crushed the Bulls.
shoving.
Michael was not going to let that happen again, and he shut him down. When they were finally able to secure the victory, he looked exhausted.
Yeah,
you
he
couldn't
did.
blame him. He literally impacted every single facet of the game. Was it efficient? No. But we could absolutely say without a doubt that the Bulls don't win that game without his efforts. In the
For
press
real.
conference, he gave some great insight about how they were able to pull this out.
You remember the couple plays beforehand, I was fighting for rebounds and just trying to get, get the ball and control the tempo of the game. And I was tired, and that's what it was. I mean, today was just lay everything on the basketball court. Tomorrow we can rest.
Yeah.
Today we have to win, and whatever it takes to win. If that means shooting 38%,
and 59% and out rebounding this team, you know, on the boards and controlling, you know, the defense. You know, that's what it took. You know, that's all that matters. You know, I'm pretty sure people are going to say, well, you know, I heard a question just a few minutes ago, is some of the swagger about the championship team gone, lost in this series? Probably. No one's taken anything away from us thus far. You know, so we still have what we have and still have an opportunity to maintain.
That is a
That's true. That, oh man, that mentality to win and win at any cost and get the job done is what's missing in today's game.
true mark of a championship winning team is their ability to win ugly. Pat
Yep.
Riley said it best when he gave this great comment to Sports Illustrated about the Bulls. Dynasties get better as they get older. After a while, they begin to win games, not so much on talent as on the confidence that comes with experience. They succeed because they know they have succeeded in the past, and
Yep.
if you don't develop that ability, you cannot be a team that becomes a repeat champion. End of quote.
That's true.
That's the key right there. Confidence that you'll win no matter what.
Yep.
Ironically, the next question that was asked was if the thought of this being his last time playing for the Bulls ever crossed his mind during the game.
Might be the last time you play in front of this crowd, the last time that
No.
you're a Chicago Bull.
No,
Did it ever?
at no point in time in the course of the 48 minutes did I ever think negative. You know,
Okay.
sure, okay, maybe we got off to a slow start. We were a little nervous. But no point did I think negative about what we can accomplish at this team at the end of the game, you know, and how we could win. I always kept positive thoughts in my mind. We had to work extra hard to get it, but I
Ooh.
never doubted what
Nice
we could
block.
accomplish. And that's always been my attitude, day one.
This explains perfectly when teams get into a shooting slump in big moments. They don't know how to handle it. They don't know what to do to pull out a victory.
Yeah.
For other players, they let the moment get to them and their play suffers. But you can never say the same for Michael Jordan and the Chicago Bulls. They were never, ever going to beat themselves. Even when their shot wasn't falling, they were going to find other ways to beat you.
Yep.
That includes playing suffocating defense and crashing the boards.
Ooh.
You were never going to out
Nasty
hustle
block
or
right
outwork him. He was going to do whatever it took to win that game.
Nice.
That's what drove the Bulls to extend their playoff run and eventually win their 6th title. This game is absolutely not a black mark in his career. On the contrary, it highlights everything that makes him the greatest of all time. But what about you all? Do you think he deserves criticism for his performance? What was the biggest reason why they were able to win that game? Let me know in the comments. Thanks for watching.
Nice. Yeah, he wasn't having a great game. They really had him on lockdown there for a while. He wasn't hitting all of his shots. Like, I don't think I've ever seen a reel where he has missed so many shots before. That was kind of crazy. But when he realized that he was not having a good shooting game, he stepped it up in other ways. He had some nasty blocks there. He was passing at the right time to the right people who were sinking their shots. That was a team effort for them to win. And Michael, with his basketball IQ, was running that game. He wasn't dominating scoring, but he was dominating overall. Interesting. That game just proved that MJ didn't need to score all of the points to dominate the game. He found other ways to get the job done, and he delivered as always. He is absolutely the GOAT and the most clutch player ever to grace the NBA. That's going to do it for this episode. If you enjoyed this, please consider liking, sharing, hyping, and subscribing. Hit that notification bell so you don't miss any new episodes. I now have channel memberships active if you would like early access to some of my videos and some other really fun perks. If you have any other MJ video suggestions, drop those in the comment section below, and I will see you on the next one.